Kenya K. Stevens. I want to talk about sneaking, hiding, and lying today. Are those good topics? Good morning, Instagram. Good morning, Facebook. I'm going live on both mediums right now. Hey, True God. Hey, Lady Blue. Yes. I love the concept of sneaking, hiding, and lying because I think that in our culture, we're somewhat addicted to it, and I will explain that, I promise. I'm not just sitting here making claims. We're going to dig into this topic. Good morning. It's Friday. I know. We're close to the new moon, so y'all are feeling like a little bit low energy. That's okay. We're all humans. We're all affected by the phases of the moon, so even if you're not woo, you are affected because this new moon is coming, baby. And that's the time when we clear everything out and go into the deep dark, so it's okay. It's a good time to talk about sneaking, cheating, lying, hiding. Come on, y'all. Talk about it, y'all. No, we're going to get into this. I'm not going to sit here and dance all day. Hey, Halim, how you doing? So, what's my hair doing? I went to Starbucks this morning. I don't know how I was looking. But I got my coffee. All right, so, let's dig into this. So what we're going to discuss has to do with, of course, you all know me. I am Kenya K. Stevens. I am a poly love coach. I've been running an online love academy for the past 14 years. And my husband and I do this together. We have a book about open relationships, and our next book coming out is about communication. I mean, we created a new language so that people could actually get clear in their communication. And y'all will see that coming up in September. I work with couples, clients who are already married, who have children, who have a lot on the line, who do not want to get a divorce, and who instead would like to expand their relationship. Hey, Miss No Excuses. Hey, Krista. Hey, Peter. So, hiding, lying, sneaking, cheating. I think people are addicted to it in this culture. All right, so when I work with my one-on-one clients, most of them have had already, before they're even poly, before they've talked about poly, before anything, they had, a work husband, a work wife. Somebody they're interested in, somebody that they want to sort of, they have interest, your high school boyfriend, your high school lover, and they have talked to these people, okay, but not in the that information was not shared with their partner, their wife, or their husband. And to me, that's perfectly normal. 7.7 billion people on the planet, we talk to people, all of our dating sites and every way that we can contact each other, sliding in DMs. I mean, we're doing it. We're doing the do. Let's just get real about our humanity. Yes, we are powerful divine beings, but we're also human beings. So we do that. My issue is that, this is a cultural piece. The whole concept of sex, you have to think of how this culture looks at sex and the Victorian age that we're coming out of, the real issues and suppression and repression that we have around sex and sexuality. I can prove that we have suppression around sex and sexuality because that produces these acts like, the harassment and the rape culture and, putting people to sleep and having sex with them. And, porn is the #1 search site on the internet, for all ages. So we have a serious issue in this culture with suppressing something that's as natural as eating. Sex is as natural as eating or sleeping, right? And so, because of that suppression, we also suppress this, we're suppressing what is natural to us, our sensual drive. Okay, so that's where the sneaking and hiding come in. I remember I used to have to sneak to masturbate as a teen. Who could say, "Oh, Mom, I'm getting better with my masturbation. I'm getting really great at self-pleasure, Dad. I'm really doing a great job at pleasuring myself and knowing where my pleasure points are." You don't have that discussion with your parents in this culture. So the point is, we have this history. We have a pattern that has been developed. We have the suppression is a pattern for us now. All right. So patterns formulate themselves in youth. So if you have a partner and you're like, why won't they be honest with me? Why won't they just tell me? Because look, that's not how we were trained, folks. We were not trained to share our sensuality. That's embarrassing. That's taboo. That's unacceptable. So it's not that your partner wants to lie to you about their real feelings. It's a training that has taken 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 years of training. So just because you're asking them, please be honest with me. Be honest with me now. That's not going to erase 30 years of hiding, lying, sneaking, and misrepresenting yourself sexually. So that's why when I take my one-on-one clients through the processes that we go through via coaching, it begins with how to shift that internal mechanism, that learned behavior, that conditioning we have to hide and lie. And that starts with not guilting yourself for having it. Why are we guilting ourselves for something that we learned culturally? That's like guilting ourselves for knowing the English language, guilting ourselves for knowing the ABCs, guilting ourselves for knowing our multiplication table. These are hard. They were driven into you. This concept that you must sneak and hide your sensuality. Right, Kimmy? Right, Tupac? Right, David? Talk to me now. Right, Morris? Good morning, Morris. So when I take a one-on-one client, you guys probably think that I just coach them and help them learn what poly means, what's the definition of poly. No, we going back to childhood, baby. We're going to do activations that support you in clearing those old patterns. You cannot intellectually decide today that you're going to be honest. I'm sorry, women, stop trying to get the men to do that. Because you yourself, women, are not doing it. You're not doing it. You're not being honest about your actual sensuality because none of us in the West were trained to do that. Okay? So you have a hardwired conditioning that says you must sneak around. And in fact, it starts to feel better to sneak around. You know how you sneak some cookies and it feels so good because nobody knows you're doing it? You're doing the wrong thing. Nobody said that it's okay to have a binge eating. It's okay to have it's okay to be where you are and who you are. You are enough. That wasn't taught in kindergarten or at your house. Okay? So it takes time to unwire this, and that's what we take our clients through. We're not teaching them definitions of polyamory. We're teaching them how to be a new kind of human, a new kind of person, a person who accepts one's sexual drive and one's sexual prowess and one's sexual power, because it is power. Okay? So that's why it takes me 3 months with a one-on-one client to get them anywhere beyond where they are today. 3 months. All right. So when you sign up for a one-on-one coaching with me, a discovery session, we're just talking about what are the various conditionings that you have to undo. Once you book coaching with me, now we're going to take those one by one and rewire your neural community of network. Okay. Your beliefs, your core ideologies. That is not an intellectual process. It requires subconscious work. And that's what we do. Somebody's saying, what is it about the taboo that sets off the adrenaline rush? Oh my goodness. Taboos are, when you start to suppress your masturbation, let's say that as a teen, that becomes how you find pleasure. Sneaking becomes don't you understand what a routine is? A routine is something you practice over and over again. So if sneaking and hiding is part of your pleasure regime, if it's part of your pleasure regime, starting from youth, I used to sneak, lock the door, make sure nobody was home. So that becomes a part of the indicators that I'm about to receive pleasure. So I have to walk back through that step by step and unwire that before I even consider telling the truth. And then telling the truth now has to become a part of my pleasure regime. That takes rotation, practice, repetition. Okay? So yes, we do associate the sneaking and hiding and lying as a part of the pleasure. But that's only because we practiced it that way. You see? And so I support my clients in practicing the new way. And that starts with accepting where you are. That this is true, that I have associated sneaking with pleasure. I've done that. It's just a neural connection. And it just takes time to rewire that one connection from sneaking, there's a line, to pleasure. You got to break that connection and make a new wiring. Truth and honesty connected to pleasure. That's what we do here. I don't know if you guys know what we do here, but for 14 years, we provide that type of activation for our membership at Progressive Love Academy, formerly known as Juju Mama's Love Academy. So that's all I wanted to talk to you guys about today, and I do have those tools to shift. If you want to talk to me one-on-one, let's book a session, but I'm going to tell you it's going to take 3 months to begin to see the shift, okay? Any more questions before I go? I have a client actually at 10 a.m. and then at 11 a.m. and then at noon. So I came on early today. I hope y'all are up and at 'em and ready for this type of, thing. Hey, Peter, why don't women generally express their sexual desire for men? Oh my God! That's the question of the century. As a woman, okay, this culture is about the suppression of the female sensual force, because that's a strong, powerful sensual force. The female is 10 times more desirous. You understand? We don't have to get an erection. We don't have to. We are constantly thinking about sex. And so to curtail that, we have concepts like good girls don't, or you a hoe, you a whore if you do that. Oh, you need to respect yourself. Why isn't it respecting myself to have pleasure for myself? Why is bringing myself pleasure or choosing men who would pleasure me, why would that be disrespectful? How would I be disrespecting myself? Freak. That was my worst word in high school, calling people a freak. So these are hardwired, these are programs within the female mind. And they did a scientific study. They hooked up the female vagina, a probe in the vagina, and they showed women all types of men, all types of animals having sex, women having sex. And the women would say with their mouth, no, I don't like that. They'd ask the women, do you like that? Does that turn you on? No, that doesn't turn me on. But the probe in their vagina showed the vagina walls releasing secretion. So with their mouth, the woman is saying, I don't want that. But they show a rape scene. They show animals having sex. They show and their vagina is responding. So in this culture, they have actually disassociated the female mind from her pussy through propaganda. That must be undone in order to get a natural woman who will tell you when she's ready to have sex. I want to go to Iceland because the women in Iceland are free. They freed their minds to the point where they choose the man. If you're in a bar, a woman might tap you on the shoulder, just like back in Native America or Africa or any indigenous culture where women were free sexually. Women will tell you, we know from the moment we see you if our body is responding to you. But if we have disconnected through the heart and disconnected the pussy from the mind, starting at the heart, and our heart's not telling the truth, we can't do that. Okay? Corporate women suffer from this. Mothers suffer from this. All the women who would feel shame about having a sexual desire. I desire at least 5 men a day. Just walking down the street. Just walking down the street. Can I tell those men that? Oh, no, they might get intimidated. They're not used to women telling the truth. This is a cultural shift that we must exercise here. And it takes time. And that's what our Progressive Love New Paradigm Relationship Intensive is about in September. Formulating the new culture, because women are tired of walking around like this. But there's no way out intellectually. You cannot talk yourself out of a conditioning. You must do the internal work. That's what we do at Progressive Love Academy. Right? I hope that answers the question. Somebody said, Iceland, here I come. Women are trying to get free. We're going to go to Iceland. We can be free. We can talk about what we actually want, desire, need. I want you right now. I saw a man yesterday. I want you now. Right now. I haven't unwired to the point where I can tell him that yet, but I know my body and I reconnected my mind to my pussy. I did a full course on that called Diva Deep Dive. Yes, we need to be able to express this energy, but guess what we do in the West? There was an old thing in the 1800s where you drop your napkin. Women should be subtle. Drop your napkin in front of him to let him know. That's Victorian. In indigenous culture, check Musu, China. Check the women of Tahiti. Check out Sex at Dawn by Christopher Ryan. These are books that talk about what women used to be. And what women are returning to again if they come through Juju Mama's Love Academy, because that's what I do. I support women in returning to that. And men, you should be happy. You should be thanking me. You can send me a Cash App right now. Listen, guys, I love you all so much, but I gotta go. And, continue asking me questions. I'm always here to respond to you and talk to you. This is what I do for a living. So if you need my consulting, please book 60 minutes with me and we'll do 3 months and we will rewire your stuff. All right, let's end this hiding, lying, and sneaking, but let's not guilt ourselves about it. It is learned behavior. I love you all so much. Have a good day. And why is an ad playing when I want to hear my music? All right, I'll talk to y'all later. Thank you so much for joining my my live. I really enjoy doing this work. That's it. Oh, yes. Thanks, Facebook. Thank you. Hi, Winnie. Yeah, you do feel pulled to Iceland, don't you? I do too. Good to see you too, Morris. Absolutely. All right. So, yeah, here's my music. Bye. Free the sisters. Book with me. Go ahead, Tyad. I'm here. This is what I do all day long. Free the women, and I free the men, and I free the humans, the trans, the LGBTs, whatever your skin color, because there's no such thing as race. Book me, y'all. Bye. I love this song. Mwah. This my jump. He said we need to eliminate the Eurocentric mindset. Y'all gotta move that dough. Say you'll never let me go. Say you'll never let me go. I like being freed up. Free me up, because I'm ready now. They say women over 40 are monsters. Sexually, yeah, your sex drive goes up as you age. Wow.